Like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment for more. Ghost Emperor Wild Wife Dandy Eldest Miss. Chapter 31 to 40. Chapter 31, Yun Luo Feng, A Great Swindle, 1. He was certain that even his grandfather did not know about his inability to have sexual intercourse. So how did Yun Luo Feng know this? Hence, after pondering on the matter for a few days, he finally decided to come here to inquire about it. From afar, he spotted a young girl clad in white clothes walking with the sun facing her. A streak of light shone down and fell on that peerlessly beautiful face, as though she was a character walking out of a painting, beautiful beyond comparison. Mu Shen's eyes glinted with a touch of amazement. How could he not notice Yun Luo Feng was this beautiful before? Right, it must be that temperament. That's right, currently, the young girl's temperament had completely transformed. It was no longer like her previous infatuated and decadent self and had turned into a growing confidence instead. A touch of haughtiness could even be seen between her eyebrows, and her eyes appeared like they were looking down on the world. Suddenly Mu Shen had a premonition that even his own sister, Mu Wusheng, could not compare with this young girl in white clothes. There would come a day when Crown Prince His Highness would regret breaking off his engagement with her for the rest of his life. Yun Luo Feng. Mu Shen's emotions were rather complicated. He looked at the young girl heading towards him and bit his teeth, saying, "Why do you know that I have a problem in that area?" His entire face burned furiously with discomfort. After all, admitting to being impotent was an extremely shameful thing for a man. The young girl remained as indifferent and leisure as before, her bewitching eyes dispassionately glanced at Mu Shen, and the corner of her lips slightly raised. "Since you came here, don't you already have an answer?" Plop. All of a sudden, Mu Shen knelt in front of Yun Luo Feng and begged while sniveling, "Godly doctor, please save me. Didn't you say I'm trash?" Yun Luo Feng indifferently glanced at the kneeling Mu Shen. "Godly doctor, I know I was wrong. I've been blind and even offended Godly Dr. Darren 1. As long as Darren can cure me, Mu Shen, will definitely follow you from now on." Mu Shen bawled and wiped his tears away. "I don't need you to follow me, however, as you know, I need funds to cure people and see patients. Medicinal herbs are so expensive these days, and the general estate has always been desperately poor and can't afford those herbs." Yun Luo Feng shook her head and sighed. "So it's not that I'm unwilling to save you, it's just that I'm incapable. Godly doctor, money isn't a problem. As long as you can cure me, any amount of money isn't an issue." Hearing Yun Luo Feng's words, Mu Shen's eyes brightened. "Seeing how sincere you are, I won't charge you the entire fee, so you only have to pay the basic fee." The corner of Yun Luo Feng's mouth lifted with a bewitching smile. "Tomorrow, bring 50 million taels over, and I will immediately cure you. For today, hand over 5 million first as the down payment." What? Mu Shen was dumbfounded with astonishment. 50 million. And this was just the basic fee. Just what type of medicinal herbs could cost such an astronomical base price? "Oh, you need to know, your illness isn't a typical illness. The price of 50 million is already the lowest, and this is just the cost of the medicinal herbs. I'm already not collecting the cost of the silver needles and my labor fee." Yun Luo Feng glanced at Mu Shen. "If you didn't meet my eyes, I wouldn't cure you even if you gave me 100 million taels. After all, your illness is just too strenuous to cure and will also exhaust my energy." Mu Shen's eyes were fraught with emotions. So it was such an exhausting matter for Yun Luo Feng to treat him, and he ignorantly thought 50 million was too expensive. Chapter 32, Yun Luo Feng, A Great Swindle 2. Now, it appeared that 50 million taels were not that expensive at all. Didn't she just say that she was treating him because he met her eyes? If it were someone else, she would not treat them even if they gave her 100 million taels. Inside the God Code world, after hearing his master's shameless words, Xiao Mo could not help but roll his eyes. Swindle, swindle all you want. This type of small ailment was no big deal to Yun Luo Feng. In the end, it was not enough for her to scam 50 million from him, but she also led the other to feel like he owed her a favor. "Godly doctor," Mo Shen's eyebrows furrowed in embarrassment, "I can send 5 million later, but for the remaining 45 million, can you give me more time?" Yun Luo Feng imperceptibly nodded. "Once you gather enough money, that's when I'll start your treatment. Also, do not tell anyone about me treating you. I dislike complications. If other people accidentally learn of it, don't come and find me even if you are afflicted with hard-to-treat illness. I don't go around treating average people." Mu Shen's emotion was moved, a burst of joy erupted from the bottom of his heart. She said that she would not treat an average person. In other words, he was not an average person. Knowing such a godly doctor, his life would at least have some security from now on. Godly doctor, I understand. It's no wonder that people called you a trash for so many years. Oh, no, godly doctor, it's not that I'm calling you trash, it's them. I have always thought you were a hidden genius. Mu Shen's entire face showed a fawning expression. You dislike troubles and aren't willing to treat just anyone, so you hid your own medical expertise, didn't you? You can be reassured that I definitely won't tell anyone about your talent. Even if Yun Luofeng did not warn him, he still would not carelessly speak. Otherwise, the truth about him being impotent might leak out. Good, you can leave. Send the 5 million taels deposit within 1 shichen 1. Once it's past the shichen, there's no reason for you to come anymore. Swish. As soon as Yun Luofeng finished speaking, Mu Shen had already fled the scene. He was afraid that he would not be able to make it in time, and Yun Luofeng would really not treat him in a fit of rage. So it turns out that earning money is this easy for doctors. Yun Luofeng caressed her chin, and the smile on her beautiful face grew increasingly bewitching. It's very easy indeed. The materials don't even cost 10,000 taels, and you've managed to swindle 50 million taels. More importantly, you conned 50 million out of him, yet he is still deeply grateful to you. Say, is this Mu Shen a total fool? Xiao Mo was gobsmacked. He probably had never imagined that his master would turn out to be a big swindler. He is from Mu family, so if I don't swindle him, who do I swindle? Yun Luofeng cracked a faint smile, her eyes downcast. All right, I will quickly finish this last day of medicinal bath. Starting tomorrow, I'll be able to officially start the path of cultivation. When the time comes, I'll teach each and every single person who hurt Yun family a bloody lesson. A debt of blood should be paid in blood. Even though Yun Luofeng's father did not die in Prime Minister Mu's hands, their death could still be linked to Prime Minister Mu. Moreover, since that dog emperor chose to protect Mu family, there would come a day when she would make this dynasty change its name. Master, I believe that day will not be far away. Xiao Mo's voice was fraught with conviction and revealed his deep trust in the young girl. It slowly echoed in the young girl's mind, letting her heart swell with confidence as well. Chapter 33, Low-Rank Early-Level Spirit Cultivator. In the bathtub, the girl's gorgeous face had turned ashen as she tensely bit her lips. Her delicate hair cascaded down her back, and through the heat and haze, her stunning beauty could be seen. It was uncertain how much time had passed, the medicinal liquid inside the bathtub had turned from green to black. The girl opened her eyes slowly, and her naturally crimson lips released a puff of murky air. Master, you have succeeded. You are now a low-rank early-level spirit cultivator. You are no longer the unable to cultivate trash from before. Later, I will give you a prescription that you can follow to prepare a medicinal bath. Cultivating in that medicinal bath will increase your speed. Inside her soul, Xiao Mo was so ecstatic that he jabbered and gushed endlessly. It's unfortunate that we don't have spiritual herbs, otherwise the effect would have been more potent. Master, when will you come visit God Code World and plant the herbs that you got last time? Yun Luofeng's eyebrows furrowed, but before she could respond, Xiao Mo's voice suddenly became alert. Master, someone is coming. Someone was coming. Yun Luofeng's appearance sharpened immediately. She quickly grabbed the robe from the side and draped it over her body. She leapt out of the bathtub and barked sternly, "Who's there? Come out." Behind the screen, a black figure slowly emerged. The man's facial features were very exquisite, perfect to the point that even gods would be envious. His defined, chiseled face was emotionless. His pair of dark eyes were staring intensely at Yun Luofeng. Those unfathomable eyes prevented anyone from discerning his inner thoughts. Yun Luofeng's sight fell on the man's soft lips and could not help but remember that day when the other kissed her upon falling down. Why did you come here? The girl's state of mind gradually regained its former tranquility, and her bewitching eyes were staring at that glacial face once again. Instead of impatience, there was even a hint of teasing in her voice. You dropped this. The man lifted his hand, and a jade pendant dangled from his grasp. The jade pendant had a word, Yun, clearly engraved on it, the character reflecting in her eyes. Yun Luofeng was momentarily stunned. That day, she indeed lost her jade pendant and could not find it no matter what, but she did not expect that it would fall into the hands of this man. No wonder this man would come to the general estate. In fact, it was only because of this jade pendant that he came looking for her. Good, since the jade pendant has already returned to its owner, you can leave now. Yan Luofeng accepted the jade pendant. With a wicked smile, she stared at the cold, indifferent man and asked with furrowed brows, "Is there anything else?" The man moved slightly but did not leave. For some reason, at that moment, Yan Luofeng discovered a trace of awkwardness on his face. "You saved me. Yes. And you also saw my face. And so, take responsibility." Quote. Yan Luofeng was stupefied, gawking at this guy with his expression of awkwardness. She did not have hearing problems just now, right? This cold man was making her take responsibility with a look of discomfort just because she saw his face underneath his mask. "I knew it. I knew this would happen. Master, accept him quickly. You'll benefit from him. Accept him quickly." Xiao Mo was completely beside himself, appearing as though it was him who was being made to take responsibility. "Be quiet." Yan Luofeng could no longer hold herself back at that moment and fiercely bellowed. Only then did she look at the man standing in front of her. "It's not like I raped you. What responsibility are you making me take? Moreover, we are complete strangers. Why did you come looking for me? Just because I helped you once?" The emotionless man pursed his lips and awkwardly replied, "I don't know. I just feel very comfortable by your side." Chapter 34, Let me warm your bed. Comfortable by her side. What kind of logic was that? Tell me, what can you do? Yan Luofeng raised her eyebrows, staring at the awkward man with a faint smile. The man replied, taken back, "Anything. Anything. How about bed warming?" Yan Luofeng's eyes were smiling, her voice bewitchingly seductive, and a hint of teasing lingered on her lips. At present, the young girl was only dressed in a light garment, her exposed snow-white thighs coupled with her bewitching voice could enchant anyone's heart and soul. But at that moment, she actually saw the grim and awkward man in front of her, blushing. Hey, this guy really could not stand flirting. "I don't know," the man truthfully responded to her question, like an honest and obedient boy. He paused and then added, "I can learn. I can learn." Yan Luofeng blankly stared at him. If one day, a man stood in front of you and told you he would learn how to warm your bed, how would you be able to keep your calm? Then, stay with me as my bodyguard. Do you have any objections? Having recovered her wits, the girl once again reverted to her bewitching and languid disposition and smiled at the man in front of her. "As you wish." 3 curt words, she could already deduce that this guy was not only emotionless and difficult but also reticent. "By the way, what's your name?" Yan Luofeng asked while yawning, seemingly indifferent in her inquiry. 2 days ago, grandfather said he wanted to find a personal bodyguard for her. She did not expect that this bodyguard would come knocking at her door this fast. Xiao. No family name. None. Yan Luofeng stared blankly once again and subconsciously looked at the man before her, but having discovered the lack of superfluous emotions on this man's face, the corner of her lips uncontrollably twitched before saying, "From now on, your name is Yun Xiao." Yun Xiao. The man whispered these 2 words again and abruptly raised his head to look at Yan Luofeng, his fathomless eyes brightening. "From now on, I will protect you." By the time Yan Luofeng left the room, the day was getting late. She had planned to find her grandfather to discuss the matter of moving to the rear mountain and introduce Yun Xiao to him as well. However, she did not expect that the old man had yet to return. Thus, after waiting for a while, she stopped waiting and returned to her room. However, when she stepped into her room again, she discovered Yun Xiao, who was just standing in her room a moment ago, had disappeared. Yun Xiao. Yan Luofeng wrinkled her brows and called out in the room when her sight suddenly fell on the bed. The bulge on the bed clearly indicated that there was someone lying on the bed. The person lying underneath the blanket emerged upon hearing her voice. She had a clear view of the man's exquisite, handsome face, his expression forever devoid of emotion. He was gently pursing his lips, and his dark eyes were incomparably clear. Yan Luofeng's line of sight moved downward little by little until it landed on the 8-pack abs on his torso. Facing such seductive figure, her eyes could not help but zone out. If this excellent man was sold to a brothel, she reckoned the entire kingdom would celebrate, and he would be more popular than a certain crown prince. Yun Xiao, of course, did not have the faintest idea about Yan Luofeng's inner thoughts, and his clear dark eyes were staring hard at her. "You told me to warm your bed, and now, the bed is warm enough for you to sleep." Yan Luofeng was stricken with shock. As it turned out, this guy misunderstood the phrase's meaning. Then his blush from earlier, was it not due to hearing the phrase bed warming? At this moment, Yun Luofeng suddenly discovered this guy was actually this, innocent and adorable. Chapter 35, Stinky Wench, come out here. Stinky Wench, come out here. The next day, early morning. Yun Luofeng had just finished washing up when all of a sudden, a furious bellow thundered throughout the entire Yun estate and echoed for a very long time. This scared the entire Yun estate, and all the servants started ducking their heads, puzzled as to how this eldest miss had managed to anger General Darren once again. Yun Xiao. Yun Luofeng yawned lazily, shifting her gaze to the perfect man in front of her before stepping out of the room. Let's go, I don't even know what that old man is raging about, already wailing like ghosts and howling like wolves this early in the morning. Although those were her words, she already had an inkling as to why this old man was going berserk. Treasury room. The old man was looking at the empty warehouse in front of him. The feeling of wanting to cry but having no tears overwhelmed him, but still, he could not cry no matter what. His hands were shakily holding onto the wall for support to prevent himself from toppling onto the ground. It was gone. It was all gone. All of Yun clan's several generations of savings were squandered away by that death-deserving spendthrift. The old man really wanted to cry and suddenly regretted handing over the treasury's key to that spendthrift. Who would have thought that she would squander away all the treasury's money in just a few days' time? Not even a single copper was left for him. At this time, the sound of light footsteps came from behind him, and upon hearing the unique footstep, the old man's negative emotions burst forth once again. His red eyes instantly shot to her while his entire head of white hair flared up. You stinky wench, give me back my money. Where did you squander away my money? The young girl, donned in complete white, stood in front of Yun Luo with an especially innocent expression. Didn't you say I could spend the money in the treasury as I wanted? And that I could even move it all, and it wouldn't be a problem. The old man immediately fell silent. It indeed appeared that these words were spoken by him, but he only mentioned it in passing. Who knew this girl would seriously take it all away? However, this was the Yun clan's several generations of savings. Had it been easy for him to save thus far? Grandfather, Yun Luofeng patted the old man's shoulders and said with a brilliant smile, as the saying goes, you're not born with wealth and you can't take it at death. What's the point of keeping so much money? At any rate, all this money will be left to me in the end, so why should you be so angry about it? Looking at the young girl's bewitching smile, the old man nodded with approval. He currently only had one precious granddaughter, and the money would soon be left to her anyway. Ah, this was not right. This girl actually backed him into a corner. Girl, don't change the subject, quickly confess where you took the money. The old man was so angry that his beard was quivering in disarray. There was no longer any sign of dignity and fierceness that he once had when Yun Luofeng first saw him. Yun Luofeng responded matter-of-factly, I spent all of it. You, did what? The old man suddenly widened his eyes. He originally thought Yun Luofeng emptied the money to move it to a different place and had never thought that she would unexpectedly say she spent all of it. You stinky girl, tell me honestly, just what have you been doing these past few days? Why did you spend so much money? If you don't give me a reasonable explanation, you and I won't be done today. As I've said, I'm a doctor. I spent everything on medicinal herbs. Medicinal herbs. Stinky girl, do you see me as a 3-year-old child? What medicinal herbs would be this expensive and cause you to spend an entire 25 million taels? That is 25 million, not 250. The old man almost bawled, and his heart was trembling. A squanderer, an enormous squanderer. Yun Luofeng shrugged her shoulders and smiled bewitchingly. Medicinal herbs that would allow me to cultivate, is it worth this price? Chapter 36, Unfathomable Depths. What? The old man was startled, his gaze unblinkingly focused on the young girl's confident face, unable to return to reality for a long time. What did she just say? Medicinal herbs that would allow her to cultivate. Was he having trouble with his hearing? Did you just say you can cultivate? He must have heard it wrong, surely he must have heard it wrong. How could this be possible? Even if those imperial doctors were willing to do so, it was still not certain that they could cure her body. However, the old man was able to quickly verify his suspicion. The young girl's face still had that willful and bewitching smile, her eyes and eyebrows were projecting arrogance and confidence. Her body was clad in white clothes that gently fluttered in the breeze, and her fine black hair rippled like a waterfall, peerlessly youthful. Nonetheless, the old man's attention was obviously not there. Spiritual energy. That was right, he could feel the presence of spiritual energy exuding from his beloved granddaughter. Low-rank early-level spirit cultivator. He asked in disbelief. Fenger, you can cultivate. That's right, Feng Yun Luo nodded slightly. I could start cultivating since yesterday, I just didn't have time to tell you. Now, do you still think these medicinal herbs are expensive? After 3 seconds of silence, a sound of mad laughter resonated through the entire Yun estate. This made the maidservants and guards in the Yun estate even more terrified. They really could not figure out what their general was losing his mind over. He was raging one moment and laughing the next. Could it be he was going insane? At present, Yun Luo, who was standing in the treasury and laughing heartily with his head thrown back, was entirely clueless that due to some people propagating today's story, it led the entire imperial city to question his sanity. Moreover, it was Yun Luofeng, the trash, who had pushed him to the brink of madness. Yun Luofeng did not speak and lazily leaned against the door frame, quietly waiting for this old man to be finished with his merriment. Finally, the old man was able to restrain his laughter, yet his raised eyebrows still betrayed the excitement in his heart. Not expensive at all. As long as you can cultivate, even if you made me sell the Yun clan estate, grandfather would still immediately sell it to gather money for you, let alone 25 million taels. This won't do, I need to go tell your second uncle this good news right away. Speaking of second uncle, Yun Luofeng briefly paused. Grandfather, tonight you should make use of the dark to secretly send second uncle to the rear mountain. I will move to live there tomorrow as well. Also, there's someone I'd like to introduce to you. From the beginning, Yun Luo had already seen the man standing behind Yun Luofeng. It was only because of his rage that he didn't ask her yet. He knew in this instance though that this was the man whom his granddaughter wanted to introduce to him. He had to say that this man was indeed a perfect specimen of a man. This face and figure were most definitely not inferior to that of Crown Prince His Highness, it even exceeded it by a huge margin. This is Yun Shao, and he will be my personal bodyguard from now on. You're saying that this guy here is your chosen bodyguard? Yun Luo was astonished. Whether it was his looks or his aura, this man did not seem like a bodyguard at all. More importantly, even with his strength, Yun Luo still could not discern the level of strength of this man. Upon reflection, either this man was a trash, who could not cultivate, or his strength had unfathomable depths. Yun Luo leaned towards the latter possibility. This man's aura was too strong. How could a man with such a powerful aura be a trash? Fenger, where did you abduct this fine man from? Yun Luo asked and cast a meaningful look at Yun Luofeng. Yun Luo saying, fine man, made the disgruntled Yun Shao furrow his eyebrows in displeasure. If it was someone else who dared to humiliate him like this, they would have already been executed. But he was Yun Luofeng's grandfather. And so, he had to endure. Chapter 37, Spirit Gathering Medicinal Liquid 1. An evil light glinted in Yun Luofeng's eyes. I saved him once, so he came to pay a debt of gratitude. She really did save him once, but she did not take a lot of trouble to treat him and just carelessly went through the motions. Who let this guy fall onto her at that time? If it were not for his spiritual entity constitution, she would not even think of saving him and would just let him fend for himself. Yun Luo guffawed, my granddaughter definitely has great abilities, not only did you get rid of your rubbish physique, but you also have brilliant medical skills. A few days ago, that Prime Minister Mu even claimed that no one will marry you in the future and that you can only be a mere concubine. I say it won't be long before people who want to propose marriage will crowd the threshold of our estate. Prime Minister Mu. Yun Shao secretly noted the name with his features devoid of emotions, his expression remained cold as always. Right, grandfather, Yun Luofeng extended her hand towards Yun Luo while smiling happily. Do you have any money on you? For now, give me 1,000 taels. Although Mu Shen was a son of the Prime Minister estate, it would not be that easy for him to mobilize 50 million taels. Even the origin of the deposit that he had given her was unknown. So if she waited for the remaining 45 million taels, she was afraid that it would take a few days. Cough cough. The old man almost choked on his own saliva. He subconsciously protected his chest in order to avoid a certain someone from snatching the sheet of banknote one in his clothes. What do you think you're doing? This 1,000 taels is all that's left. Don't ruin my last retirement money. Take it out. Yun Luofeng made a beckoning sign with her finger. You have no use for this 1,000 taels. Lend it to me for the time being, and after a few days, I will help you fill your treasury to the brim. Are you speaking the truth? Despite the skepticism of the old man, he still hesitantly took the remaining sheet of banknote out of his clothes with trembling fingers. Girl, I am warning you, this is all the money left of our general estate. If, after a few days, you don't help me fill up the treasury, then I will cry for you. Looking at the old man's aggrieved expression, Yun Luofeng's forehead could not help but slightly twitch. She helplessly lifted her hand to accept the offered banknote and left the treasury under his tearful expression. Spirit gathering medicinal liquid could help the spirit cultivators to cultivate more conveniently. Spirit cultivators only needed to soak in this spirit gathering medicinal liquid concoction, and it would allow them to break through even more rapidly. Thousands of years ago, it was the most valuable treasure, and countless spirit cultivators yearned for it even in their dreams. However, this spirit-gathering medicinal liquid had already gone extinct, and there were not many people on this continent who still knew its prescription. Fortunately, Yun Luofeng possessed an encyclopedia, like Xiaomo, so this spirit-gathering medicinal liquid was not too difficult for her. Unfortunately, at the moment, Yun Luofeng had not grown any spiritual herbs yet. A spirit-gathering medicinal liquid concocted from normal medicinal herbs, its medicinal effect would be weakened manyfold. Medical pavilion. Countless numbers of pedestrians came in and out, extremely busy. Yun Luofeng had just entered the medical pavilion's door when the green-robed man who received her last time stepped up with a polite smile on his face. Eldest Miss Yun, which medicinal herbs are you coming to buy this time? Does the medical pavilion have these medicinal herbs? Yun Luofeng handed over the prescription in her hands. The green-robed man accepted the prescription, gave it a scrutinizing glance, and said with a smile, Eldest Miss Yun, the medicinal herbs you are buying this time are not very expensive, the total price is only 800 taels. So I made the decision that these medicinal herbs will be a gift for Miss Yun this time, and we won't be accepting your money. It had to be said that this medical pavilion really knew how to conduct business. Yun Luofeng spent 25 million taels at the medical pavilion last time, so even if the medicinal herbs this time were not charged, the medical pavilion still earned quite a lot and was able to win over customers simultaneously. Chapter 38, Spirit Gathering Medicinal Liquid 2. Then, thank you. Yun Luofeng clenched the 1,000 tael banknote in her hand and suddenly asked, That's right, does the medical pavilion accept medicinal liquids? Medicinal liquids. The green-robed man was frozen for a moment. That will depend on the type of medicinal liquid, and if the medicinal liquid's effect is quite good, our medical pavilion will give a reasonable price. Yun Luofeng slightly looked down. This spirit-gathering medicinal liquid, its medical effects should be considered quite good, right? Why does Miss Yun want to sell a medicinal liquid? Though the green-robed man smiled politely, he was not taking it seriously. Who did not know that the Yun family's eldest miss was a trash? But at the moment, it was unknown how she unexpectedly became hooked on medical arts and even spent a large sum of money on it. Moreover, he had already heard that the general flew into a terrible rage at home today, and he reckoned the culprit was none other than this squanderer, Yun Luofeng. Based on her status as a beginner in this field, what would be the use of her medicinal liquid? For the time being, I still don't have this intention. However, if I want to sell medicinal liquid, I will come to your medical pavilion. The other members of the medical pavilion had already carried over her medicinal herbs. After receiving them, under the contemplative gaze of the green-robed man, she turned around to leave that tall figure slowly disappearing into the street. Upon her return to the general estate, Yun Luofeng went to the rear mountain, and after instructing that she was not to be disturbed by anyone, she entered the God Code space. Inside the God Code, Xiaomo resentfully and pitifully stared at Yun Luofeng. That aggrieved expression appeared as though he wanted to cry. Master, you haven't visited me in a long time. Also, when will you eat that fine man? Yun Luofeng cast him a sidelong glance. Come and help me, I want to plant the medicinal herbs that I obtained last time in this medicinal field. Something's not quite right, why do I feel like this medicinal field appeared to have expanded its size? These medicinal herbs were from the first time that Yun Luofeng went to purchase medicinal herbs from the medical pavilion. These complementary herbs were given to her by the medical pavilion. As a result of her being busy, it was just now that she found the time to plant them. Master, now that you have successfully become a spirit cultivator, the medicinal field expanded its circumference. As your strength grows stronger and stronger, the area of this medicinal field will also grow bigger. Xiao Mo curled his lips. Furthermore, the medicinal herbs that you got last time is only the most common type of herbal ingredients for slowly treating an injury. For this type of medicinal herbs, you only need 10 days to turn them into spiritual herbs. Didn't you say before that it would take at least 3 months to turn medicinal herbs into spiritual herbs? Foolish master. Xiao Mo almost jumped up, resenting her for failing to meet his expectation and impatient to see improvement. He stated, "What I spoke of last time was the herbal ingredients for the medicinal bath. Those medicinal herbs are still somewhat valuable, and growing them to become spiritual herbs will definitely require 3 months, maybe even more than that. The medicinal herbs in your hands are nothing, so you can harvest them within 10 days." Yan Luofeng suddenly realized that she misunderstood Xiao Mo's meaning from before. "Help me get a shovel, I will start planting these herbs. We will use these medicinal herbs to test the impressiveness of this medicinal field." Yan Luofeng took one herb from the ground, and then turned around to look at Xiao Mo and gave an order. Xiao Mo harumphed and then took the shovel and eagerly walked in front of Yan Luofeng. He then helped the young girl plant the medicinal herbs in the field. It was already late when Yan Luofeng left the God Code space. Since she gave an order to not be disturbed by anyone, until now, no one came to this part of the mountain to disturb her. Then she made her way towards the kitchen. The herbs were already grown, so it was now the right time to start making the spirit-gathering medicinal liquid. Chapter 39, Food Stealing, Gold-Seeking Hamster, 1. Inside the blurry, smoky kitchen, a maiden in white clothes was busily working without a pause. A whiff of herbal fragrance wafted through the kitchen. Her hand was holding a fan and lightly fanning the fire underneath the medicinal pot. Almost done. The young girl stopped her movement, took a handkerchief from the side, laid it over the pot lid, and carefully lifted the lid up. This spirit-gathering medicinal liquid should be enough for 5 days of use. Slowly curling up her lips corner, the girl's exceedingly gorgeous face was adorned with a wicked smile. "I just don't know how much money I would make if I sell this spirit-gathering medicinal liquid." Just then, a deep and gruff voice came from behind. What's more, she could even feel that distinctive masculine presence emanating from the other person's body. "Your bath is ready." Yan Luofeng was startled for a moment. She turned around to look at the man standing behind her, lifting her brows. "Didn't I order King Yin to do this? If you steal King Yin's work, what will she do?" The man looked at Yan Luofeng with perplexion, not understanding the cause of her unhappiness. After thinking for a bit, he said, "If you don't like it, then I won't do it." Watching the man's expression, Yan Luofeng chuckled. "Yan Xiao, do you know what you're like?" "I don't know." The man knitted his brows, he really did not know what he was like. For these past years, besides his subordinates, he had only been in contact with enemies who perished in his hands. Of course, these people would not dare to be too impudent in front of him. You are like a piece of slow-witted wood." Yan Luofeng took a few steps towards the man, slightly narrowing her eyes. She stared at the expressionless man in front of her as though admiring a piece of art. "However, precisely because you are an unpolished piece of wood, it actually makes me want to properly transform you." The man's unfeeling face finally displayed an iota of change. Even though that change was almost imperceptible, the attentive Yan Luofeng still caught it. And this appearance of his made Yan Luofeng want to tease him even more. "Yan Xiao, you are good at everything except you are a bit clueless about matters between men and women. Thus, I want to transform you into someone more flirtatious, and then I will sell you to a brothel. With this body and appearance of yours, if you enter a brothel, I'm afraid that even Long Yuan Kingdom's most beautiful man, Crown Prince His Highness, can't hold a candle to you. At that time, I will be raking in money." If one allowed Yun Xiao's subordinates to hear her words, they would probably topple onto the floor faceplant. This woman actually wanted to sell master to a brothel for money. It was a known fact that their master did not have a great temper. His methods also raised people's hackles, and those who died in his hands were simply innumerable. Otherwise, those people who knew master's name on the continent would not call him a demon. But she actually dared to say these words in front of master. Yun Xiao's face froze, his expression also gradually cracked. He only needed to think of being swarmed by those nauseating women, and he would have an urge to kill. Ha ha ha! Yan Luofeng could not help loudly laughing, her appearance was full of mirth. "Yan Xiao, I thought your expression would always be cold. I didn't expect that just those words alone would make that grim look on your face crack. You're finally becoming like a normal person. She patted Yun Xiao's shoulder, quickly picked up the spirit-gathering medicinal liquid, and left the kitchen. The man's eyes followed Yun Luofeng's retreating figure. Only then did he come to an abrupt realization that he unexpectedly got played by her. If Yun Xiao's subordinates were here, it was very likely that their jaw would fall off from shock. Despite being teased by Yun Luofeng, their master actually did not get angry. Was this still their killing people like flies and not putting the world in his eyes master? In fact, there was once a woman who accidentally saw their master's appearance beneath the mask and also vainly attempted to use her appeal to seduce him. Master did not even think before directly killing her with a wave of his sword. Let alone the girl who wanted to sell him to a brothel to make money. Chapter 40, Food Stealing, Gold-Seeking Hamster 2. Rear Mountain. Inside a flat and short house, the girl in white clothes unhurriedly shedded her clothes and walked towards the side of the steaming bathtub. She carefully poured the medicinal liquid from the porcelain bottle in her hands into the bathwater. She did not slowly step into the tub until the bathwater turned milky white. The moment she stepped into the tub, she felt a wave of spiritual energy surge through her, making her feel invigorated and improving her mood. Xiao Mo, I will start cultivating now. Help me watch my surroundings. If someone comes, tell me immediately. Yes, master, Xiao Mo promised enthusiastically. Although he could only stay inside the God Code world, not a single breathing entity would be able to hide their presence from him. Reporting to master, I'm detecting the presence of 3 people in this rear mountain. One is your second uncle's, the other is Yun Xiao's, and the last one is unknown. However, that person is with Yun Xiao and also doesn't harbor malicious intentions. Yun Xiao. Yun Luofeng paused. Since there's no ill intent, you don't need to mind him. On top of the mountain, overgrown weeds. Yun Xiao watched the gray-robed man kneeling in front of him, his tone unreasonably cold. Didn't I say that not a single person shall enter Yun estate without my permission? Did you forget? Saying this, a domineering aura radiated from Yun Xiao's body. If Yun Luofeng was here at this moment, she would have discovered that the spirit beasts living on the mountain behind the Yun estate did not dare to move and were coweringly prostrated on the ground. Lin Chong wanted to cry but had no tears. He only came to report about a single matter. Who knew he would be subjected to a ruthless pressure from this terrifying man? That was right. Terrifying. In the hearts of these subordinates, the man in front of his eyes was precisely a demon who terrified people. Anyone who offended him would have a fate that was definitely worse than death. Master, it's like this, Lin Chong swallowed his saliva, quiveringly replied. Recently, a genius girl appeared in the continent, and that girl admires Master. Moreover, she's spreading that there's no one in this world who is more worthy of Master than her, and she even said she can conquer Master. This subordinate is here to ask Master, do we need to deal with this matter? Kill her. 2 words, simple and easy to understand, but it also showed this man's level of cruelty. Lin Chong was momentarily frozen. Despite knowing the depth of his master's viciousness and ruthlessness, he did not think he would make them directly kill her. As though he was very dissatisfied with this one word that Lin Chong had uttered, the man's cold eyes focused on him. Just this glance alone already made Lin Chong shudder from head to toe and hurriedly lower his head. This subordinate obeys. Yun Xiao seemed to have thought of something, involuntarily glancing at the single-story house not far away from him. Also, send someone to investigate the grudges between Prime Minister Mu Estate and Yun clan and inform me without omitting a single word. Yes, Lin Chong responded while cupping one fist in the other hand. He really did not understand, why would a superior person like Master escape to an extremely small kingdom like Long Yuan to be the guard of a general's daughter? Even if it was the emperor, he still had to kowtow several times whenever he saw Master. Of course, even if Lin Chong was given 100 guts, he still would not dare to ask this question. He would not survive otherwise. Yun Luofeng, who was currently cultivating in the house, was naturally oblivious to everything that was happening outside. She was also unaware of the commotion that she had caused at the medical pavilion last time after leaving behind a few lines of solutions at the medial pavilion. Idiots, a bunch of idiots. Inside the medical pavilion's rear hall, Elder Rong had a layer of fury on his face, scaring the people standing in front of him so much that they did not dare to take a big breath. Like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment for more.